Move over, Nvidia. There is a new kid on the block who is about to sap up all of this hot money that is being funneled into AI. Yes, the institutional investors love AI right now. They want to buy anything with AI. But guess what? So does retail. So do the boomers watching Jim Cramer, who says that Nvidia's tripling. That's just the start. Nvidia right now is a proxy for AI. We all understand that. And so they are the beneficiary of all of this money that wants to be invested in AI. If you want to own AI, you buy Nvidia stock. It's simple as that. But they're going to have competition on Wall Street from ARM, which I believe, what was it? I know the R is for risk. I think it was like advanced risk machines, or no, it was actually, wait, let me just check Wikipedia. Okay, so it was Acorn Risk Machine, and then it was Advanced Risk Machine, but it's been called ARM now. Everyone knows it as ARM. These are the guys who came up with kind of how your cell phones work, I believe. I think all of that is ARM, to where you can turn it off and it's not actually shut down, and then you can turn it back on. Anything that works like that, pretty sure that runs off of ARM. The Nintendo Switch runs off of ARM. All of your tablets and phones, they run off of ARM. Well, like all these chip companies, ARM is trying to get into the AI, muscle their way in on there, and promote all of their AI integration and all of their AI prowess. And so, if they're filing right now to be listed on the NASDAQ, they're going to push their AI prowess. That is how they're going to market themselves. And for all these people out there who just want to buy anything AI, guess what? They've got another option now. They've got a hot new chip stock that, as far as they know, is cooler and way more AI than Nvidia. Now, in actuality, is ARM really, like the top AI company in the world? No, probably not. But when you're in a mania, that doesn't matter. I don't know much about AI. And guess what? The people who are investing in AI know even less than I do. To sell your stock on Wall Street these days, you need more than good products, good balance sheets. You don't just need sales. In fact, you don't need any of those things. What you need is a good story. And ARM has a story. Their story is that their architecture is the future, that it's objectively better than anything that Intel, AMD, or, Nvidia is not even in the same class, can produce. And so, if they take that, the base sort of ARM narrative, and they dress it up with AI, I think that they can win a lot of these dollars, this hot money, because that's the way you have to look at it. There's a certain amount of money that is flowing into AI, anything AI related right now. And ARM coming on the scene, all they're going to do is divert money away from Nvidia. And so old Mr. Jensen, I'm not saying he's going to go out of business, but let's just say he might not be able to upgrade his leather jacket as often as he'd like. He might be stuck wearing last season's fashion. Because if the AI bubble is still going on by the time that we get the ARM IPO, Nvidia is going to slow down. After all, they're a one-trick pony. And that doesn't make for a very good story. Nvidia's story is that they make GPUs. AI needs GPUs to be trained. Well, not so long ago, crypto miners needed GPUs. And that's a thing of the past. How long before the AI industry moves past Nvidia? Nvidia's chips and their you know, their graphics cards, you might just see them as a stopgap. It's the best thing that people have laying around to augment the processing power of these big machines that they are using to try and train AI algorithms. The ARM boys will walk onto the floor of the NASDAQ and ring that bell and open the market. And they'll look at Nvidia and they'll say, PCIe expansion cards. Where we're going, we don't need PCIe expansion cards. Because ARM is all about the integrated system on a chip. They build to suit. There is no modularity or customization or end-user tinkering when it comes to ARM. When you buy ARM, you buy what they sell you and nothing more. And so my goal here is not to make the case that you should buy ARM stock or that you shouldn't buy Nvidia stock. Well, maybe a little bit of that. Because all this is a mania. And all I'm trying to do is think from the perspective of people who have been infected with the AI brainworm, who feel the need to spend millions of dollars investing in these companies, billions of dollars, trillions of dollars. And I try and think from their perspective, because they are acting very impulsively right now. All that hot money that flowed into Nvidia and shot them to the moon. Even if the AI bubble doesn't pop, if there's just more AI stocks available to buy, what are prudent investors going to do, these asset managers who piled into Nvidia because they wanted more exposure to AI? They're going to diversify. They're going to sell off their Nvidia, and they're going to put it in other stocks like ARM. And so Nvidia's overall business, their sales might not change at all, but their stock could deflate substantially. It could plummet. Once we see, just like we saw with the crypto boom, which happened in the stock market first before before this last big crypto boom, a year or two ago that ended. Quite a few years ago, we had a big crypto boom on Wall Street, and you had all of these companies that wanted to get into the space and associate their stock, at least on paper, with crypto. So you had Overstock.com that was pivoting, saying, no, we're not an e-commerce site. We're a cryptocurrency company. That's what Overstock.com is. And then you had Long Island Iced Tea that changed their name to Long Blockchain. They didn't change anything about their business. They had nothing to do with cryptocurrency, but they put blockchain in their name. And they were able to take advantage of the crypto bubble because people were buying anything that had it even in the name. They didn't even read what the company was, and they were buying. That's what we're about to see with AI, because everyone is seeing how much money Nvidia was able to gobble up. Nvidia is not the Tesla of AI. You look at Tesla, you've got the whole automotive industry. Those are not companies that you invest in to make a high rate of return. These are not high market cap companies at all. That's why Tesla's market cap is bigger than the entire auto industry of the entire planet put together. They're bigger than in terms of market cap, than every other car company, period. And that's because Elon Musk had a good story to tell. He doesn't need sales. He doesn't need profits. All he needed was a story. And remember, ARM is owned by SoftBank, and you have that insane cult leader. Is it Masayoshi Son? Isn't that his name? The leader of SoftBank. Now, I think that Wall Street and he himself has been burned. They've seen that he's not a god. He's not perfect. But during the good times, people tend to forgive the failures of the past and ignore them. And so I think if Masayoshi Son comes to Wall Street preaching the gospel of AI, I think that he will find his flock. And I think for ESG purposes, the idea of ARM-powered AI will be very attractive because of the lower power consumption. That is the nature of reduced instruction set computing. Because it doesn't have all of that x86 overhead that it has to maintain before doing anything else. An ARM-based AI solution, theoretically, if you're talking on these massive scales where you have these massive AI hatcheries, as I call them, where they're training AI, the energy savings over these x86-based AI hatcheries that are using Nvidia and AMD graphics cards, but mainly Nvidia, it's going to add up. And so if every company in the world wants to have these things and they want to have all this, those energy savings will be immense. So I didn't even consider that before clicking record today. But anyway, these are all reasons why Nvidia jumping on the latest bandwagon is going to end poorly for them. And then once all of the, once in a few years, the AI technology moves past Nvidia because of Nvidia's limited, very limited product range, they will find themselves left behind in the dustbin of history. And maybe they'll just end up being gobbled up by Intel or something in a manner reminiscent of ATI's acquisition by AMD. Anyway, with that said, I will see you folks back here tomorrow.